Hello. I hope you are well. I hope that all the audio is working. I would love to know if you are watching. I don't want to take too long. I usually have a little bit of a technical run through. It looks like it is okay.
You are well.
Okay, good.
All the audio is working.
We are good. All right, so welcome to this week's edition of Illustration Inspiration. This is a weekly session where we get a prompt for something to draw. So if you are a beginner illustrator, or even if you're a bit further down the road in terms of experience and just require a little bit of inspiration, then this is the session for you. We focus mainly on drawing. Cats and dogs, and so I hope that that is a subject matter that you enjoy. And if not, feel free to fill in and change whatever doesn't resonate for you. We have a little recipe that we follow. We have the randomized element to it, in that we have little wheels that select our subject matter. I'm getting that all up on the screen right now, and we're just going to jump right into it. The way that this runs, the first, say, 10 minutes or less, we get all of the prompts on the prompt worksheet, and then that worksheet is available for you to download as a reference if you would like. There is a link beneath this video that you can go and access it. In that same link, it's a thread, just a chat thread over on Substack. You can also share your drawings there if you feel called to do that. It's a great way for this session in general, is a great accountability practice, and also tracking your milestones, tracking your progress as you go. As I said, if you're a beginner, then this is perfect for you. I myself have not been drawing for that long, for that many years, so I'm still very much learning, and this whole thing is pretty much my own accountability, so that I make sure that I do at least one drawing a week, because it is in the practice where the growth happens. It's not going to happen overnight, but it's the consistency of it and that I'm focusing on. And quite frankly, like, some weeks I like the drawing that I've done, other weeks not so much. Last week, if you did watch that previous video, you will have seen the prompt that we had. I'm just going to swap over our screen here so that you can see that I do draw in Procreate. So this is my Procreate, and these are my work in progresses. This is last week's one. I'm not yet finished, so I've just done the outline and I still need to fill in. So I was actually working on that this morning, and we'll be finishing that off today. And then I really liked the way that this one came out. It was simple, and part of this practice is about recognizing for yourself, what do you enjoy drawing? What style do you enjoy working with? What brushes, what pens, what subject matter, what kind of scene gives you joy to create? And so this one I really enjoyed doing this one, and I particularly liked our little oriental cat over there. He looks a little bit like a Yoda, very cute. So yeah, that's a work in progress that I'm going to finish off today. Now let me show you the previous week that I hadn't finished for last week's live session, and I really don't like it. I finished it, but I'm just not feeling it. I do not like it at all. And this is part of the growth process as well, to be able to then see, well, what about it don't you like? And for me, I wanted to be a little bit more loose in my lines, and I couldn't, even though I tried to be a little bit more loose. I was too rigid in the characters. It's just clunky. The details of the scene I don't like. I just wasn't feeling it. I'm just not don't like this illustration, but it doesn't matter. That's the point, is that this is a growth process, and so you're not going to like every drawing that you create, and that's okay. But be mindful when you have a drawing that you don't like, about identifying what about it don't you like. Is it the outcome that you don't like, or was it the experience of it? I had trouble with conceptualizing this one. The prompts that were given for this particular drawing, yeah, I just struggled to kind of form a clear picture of what I was trying to do. So from the start, I feel like it was a little bit doomed. What I will say, and that I'm proud of, or at least a positive that I can take away from this drawing, even though I don't like the drawing, is this arm. Because the action for this drawing was punching, and although it's still not perfect, and I really struggled to get the shape of the punching hand, and at first I was doing this other hand, her left hand, that was the punching hand, and then I changed it to the right hand side, and it's still not perfect, but I pushed on, I struggled through, and yeah, and so I'm pleased with that. I'm pleased that at least I attempted. I'm also pleased that I completed the image even though I don't like it. So that I'm taking that as a win. So I show you this to you as an example of just being a little bit self-compassionate, mindful about your growth journey in your illustrations, and take this into other spheres of your life as well. Things that you're learning, growing through, just accept that it's not all going to be perfect. It's not all going to come out the way that you like, but there's always something in there that you can take away, something valuable in there that you can take away. So yeah, showing you the art that I don't like. Hey Deborah, it's so good to see you here. Welcome, thank you so much. I appreciate your compliment. Yeah, it's obviously a subjective point of view, but yeah, so we grow. So as I mentioned, I'll be finishing this one today, and all we have left to do is to find out what it is that we are drawing this week. So this being the 7th of August, the week of the 7th of August 2025. I should actually write that out because Americans do their dates differently. So let me just do that the other way. Come on. So 7 August 25, and I date them so that I can also track my progress and see, when did I draw a particular drawing, and in a year's time I can look back and see how, if I have kept up with my weekly drawing practice, I can see how I've grown. So let us get our little wheel and see if we are drawing a cat or a dog this week. And by all means, please substitute anything that comes up in the prompt section with your preferred subject or your preferred medium or your preferred whatever. This is purely for inspiration. It is not a rule. Okay, so this week is a cat. Okay, I'm going to slide this over and do this one. Okay, so this week is a cat. And what breed of cat are we drawing this week? Here we go. A Persian. That's cool. All right, we're drawing a Persian cat. Let's get to the sizes. So what are the dominant sizes for this particular cat? Is my screen the right way around or is it backwards for you? I need to check that. I have a feeling it's going to be backwards. So let me just change that. There we go. All right, hopefully that is better for you. All right, so let me just see here. Maybe I can see on the screen. There we go. Okay, great. Just had to check that, otherwise we would go through this whole... Okay, thank you so much. Thanks, Deborah. I do hope you are well, Deborah. We should have a catch-up. It's been many, many years. Okay, so sizes. Let's see. So we've got body type and then the main shape, and this can be the shape of our main character or shapes within the entire illustration, the entire scene. So let's have a look-see. So we want sizes. So body type, skinny or curvy Persian? A curvy Persian. Okay, then main shape. Square. Oops. Square. Okay, and then we've got head, ears, eyes, and nose. Are we going big or small? So small head. Okay. Ears. Small ears. Eyes. Big eyes. Perfect for a Persian. And nose, a small nose. Okay, that seems on point for a Persian. I'm pretty happy with that. Arms, legs, tail, long or short? Excuse me. So arm, long arms, legs, short legs, and tail, short tail. I'm going to veto that and say because it's a Persian, it needs to be a long tail because their tails are one of their best features. Okay, style, detail and texture. So, detail refers to how much information is in the illustration. So, in terms of the scene, in terms of maybe the clothes the cat is wearing, if you're drawing your cat wearing clothes, other characters, that kind of thing. Texture refers to how you render the image in terms of adding grain and noise and grittiness or, yeah, the texture of the clothes, you know. So that's what that is, detail and texture. Let's go with detail first. A little bit of detail. I am learning for myself that I actually do better when my illustrations have less detail, because I become a little bit overwhelmed when there's too much detail, and I'm vacillating, still deciding whether, in terms of solidifying a style, whether I want to go the lots of detail route or the little detail route. Okay, and then texture, also lots of texture. I do like a lot of texture, I must say. Okay, and then line style. So this is referring to, you know, the lines in your drawing. Is there a specific medium? No lines. Okay, this is a challenge for me. Gosh, that is going to be challenging, but I'm up for it. And by all means, again, you choose what resonates, what, you know, aspect of illustration you want to be working on. Then brush set is the next criteria that we're choosing. This is, and I explain this every week, referring to whether you have different mediums, and it can be digitally, if you're drawing digitally, or it can be analog. So if you haven't yet settled on, hey Jessica, good to see you. Welcome, my friend. If you are really early on in your illustration journey and you're still figuring out, you know, what is your go-to medium or tools, whether it's like watercolor, or crayons, pencils, charcoal, whatever. This is for you to kind of practice with all of them to be able to refine down to the ones that you return back to again and again. So it's up to you to kind of categorize them, whether it's your analog brush sets or mediums, and or if you're doing it digitally, you can organize your brushes, your preferred brushes into different categories, number them, and then use this wheel to help you decide. If you are clear on specifically what it is that you want to create your art in, by all means stick with that. But this is for those who are still figuring that out, or are just open to trying something new. That's also a good thing. So we are using brush set number 9, whatever brush set number 9 is to you. Okay, number 4 is story. So this is where we get into the story of the illustration, starting with what is the emotion or feeling within the illustration that we're depicting, whether that is for our main character or the general feeling of the illustration, what you want to inspire in whoever, what emotion you want to inspire for viewers of your illustration. Or it might be, the interaction. If you've got more than one character, what emotion is prevalent there. So, emotion, let's see. And this is good practice for expressions. Okay, confused. I really enjoy practicing drawing expressions, so I hope you do too. All right, moving on to the scene. The scene and the object is the next section. So where is our Persian cat going to be? In an office. Going to be a confused Persian cat in an office. Okay, I like that already. And then object is, what is a dominant object in the illustration? A bell. Okay. So there is a bell. That's interesting. So you can start to kind of formulate a story for your illustration, for your confused, whether it's your confused Persian cat or other characters are confused in the office with the bell. I really enjoyed, I had a little mini breakthrough last week because it was fruit, was the object, and where I would naturally, my first inclination was to draw that, the actual, there needs to be a piece of fruit in the illustration. I realized, I can actually make the fruit part of the decoration in the illustration. So there was a little brainwave over there. So feel free to have decorative bells of some kind if it's not the specific bell, if you can't come up with a story that incorporates the bell. Cool. Ding, ding, ding. Yes, Jessica. Ding, ding, ding. Okay, and then action. So let's find out what is the dominant action in this illustration prompt today. Swimming. Okay, swimming. Right. I love this. I love the kind of completely randomness. How are you going to incorporate? I do have an idea already. Like an instant image came into my mind as that came up, but it's like I would never have thought to do that at all if it weren't for these prompts. So as I mentioned previously, showing you the image that I didn't like, I was struggling to kind of bring that story together. I feel like I have a bit more of an idea with this one. And this is a stretch. This is like flexing your imagination muscle to see, well, how can you make it work? Feel free, if you really can't make it work, change it up. Like just create what you feel called to create. The point of the session is simply to keep up with the consistency of drawing, not about sticking to the rules, because these are not rules, these are just invitations. And maybe they spoke other ideas. Follow that train of thought by all means. So yes, Jessica, I'd be confused too, swimming in an office. Yes. Okay, you just got an idea too. Awesome. In fact, it reminds me of an advert that I've seen. I can't think what they're advertising, but there are some, oh, I think it's Grammarly. Yeah, people's like swimming in their office because they're drowning in their workload or something like that. So there's an idea. So there we go. That is our worksheet for this week. I will be sharing this. I'm going to export it, and I will be sharing this over in Substack. So if you do want to get your hands on this, you can do that. You can download it, and let's get there. So here we go. I will upload it right now so that you can get it right now. And then we're gonna get to the drawing part. So hopefully you can get the link in the description below. Ooh. Okay, there we go. So it is there. And now we can draw. So now we spend the rest of the hour sketching out our ideas, giving it a go. It's not all perfect. It does, like I have many redos, and I show that to show you the number of redos. So let's get a new page here. And then I do need to bring up, because I do forget instantly. There we go. Okay, so brush set. I go to my brush set first of all, brush set number 9. So I've got multiple brush sets, far too many brush sets. It's overwhelming, and I've organized the ones that I gravitate to all the time. I've organized them up here at the front and numbered them 1 to 10. So this is my Ultimate Pencils brush. I really like this brush set. I think it was actually gifted to me. I haven't drawn with it for a very long time, so I'm very excited about this because it's just got so many beautiful textures. Look at all of this. I love this hatching here. I really like this. Okay, cool. Let's do some sketching with an HB pencil. And so we have our Persian cat. Main shape is square. If you have any questions at all while we do this, then please do ask. I do go a little bit quiet as I'm contemplating. And I'll also talk through like what I'm doing, or like what's not working for me. So the initial idea that I had. Oh, wrong color. I want a darker color for my sketching, and I'm going to bring this down a bit. And I find that I tend to just start putting some easy-ish shapes on the page, just to kind of get the ball rolling. Sometimes I don't have any real idea what I'm doing, but that's okay. It is what it is. Okay, I don't think that's going to work. And there's lots of erasing. Aha, okay. Gonna clear that, start again. I really do want to try. Oh, I really like this pen set. I think it's the pen set that I've kind of been missing, because what's been coming up for me in terms of this practice, the weekly illustration practice, is I feel like I want to be more fluid and less rigid in my illustrations. I feel like when like my artwork is too rigid, then I too easily get into perfection tendencies. So it's better for me. And by all means, I am not a professional. I have so much more, an incredible amount of illustration still to learn. I am very much in the learning process, and I do not do things. I have not done formal training, so I'm sure there are proper ways to do this, but yeah, I'm kind of making it up as I go along. Awesome, Deborah. Let's do that. It'll be good. It'll be good to have a catch up. Hear what you're up to these days. Gosh, when last did we connect? It's been a long, long time. I find that I have a tendency to do my indoor scenes all the same way. I should try and change that up a bit, and I might still do, depending on how this goes. Okay. So I've got a leaderboard, fish tank. So we need a bell. I need to be more even. Now remember, this is just a sketch, a concept. You're playing with ideas. So it doesn't need to be perfect. In fact, even when you're doing the actual drawing, it does not need to be perfect. It's about practicing. Somehow I'm going to make these look like bells. Don't quite know how yet. Yeah, this is meant to depict some kind of city scene. I'll work on this. I'm not sure if I'm achieving that. Okay, it is what it is. Right. And I think I need to scale things down a smidge. part of the reason why I want to try and do my illustrations a little bit looser is also because when I'm trying too hard, they take too long. As you can see, I seem to always be behind in my weekly illustrations. Okay, so I'm gonna make it that okay, now onto the Persian cat. So the cat has gotten up from his desk. Oh, and maybe he's Googling. Okay, so Persian cat. I often, when it comes to drawing the animal, I look at Pinterest for inspiration as a reference. So let's look. Persian cat. So pretty. Okay, I like these. So cute. I'll just start with the rough shapes, and I think it would have a big floofy tail, and I don't always do this, I will be honest. No, we are confused, so what did it say? We were doing long arms and short legs. I don't know if that's gonna really translate. Kind of got these stubby ears. I feel like it needs to have a looks sad, more sad than anything. So if it were here, left hand. Yeah, that's not working for me. Is that a reference practice? Not well. It is a little bit, but it's also just imagination. Black cat. It's just like, yeah, kind of working out like it's more a practice of imagination, but I do look at the reference pictures as part of the practice, but it's mostly imagination, and that hand isn't right at all, and neither is the proportions. I feel like this arm is a curvy Persian after all. So I think the whole angle needs to change. It's got stubbier arms. So maybe more like that. And I'm kind of wanting to do like he's scratching his head. Maybe it's the other way. No, it just looks like he's being rude. And maybe it's thicker. Yeah, I don't know. That's better, I think. Not perfect, but yeah. And then I think I will also just make this hand a little bit more this arm needs to be a little bit shorter, I think. A little bit chubbier. So it would come from behind. There we go, that I think is going to be better. Like that. Chubby paws, chubby. No. This forearm's far too long. And I vacillate. Sometimes I do hands with 4 fingers and sometimes 5 fingers. Today apparently I'm doing, oh, that one hands. I should at least make them the same on both hands. Okay, and then what's going to be interesting, which I'm actually really excited about with this drawing, is rendering it with no lines. So just doing these sketches to kind of conceptualize, and then there will be no lines in the drawing. I feel like I need to make this a little bit more officey. So maybe we have a I don't know, some kind of graph on the wall. Okay, we need to have 12. And maybe a door over here. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 12. Alrighty. Actually, we're in August, so I'm going to leave it there. Okay. That kind of gives it an officey environment. Do we give the cat some clothes? While I think of that, I will put some paper. Maybe a coffee mug. All right, and I need to work on this expression a bit, I think. It's not looking quite so. Confused. Aha, I know what is wrong. It needs to be a bit angular like that. The one eyebrow up. Maybe a bit. And I think the eyes need to be a bit more closed. So I'm going to close down the eyelid a little bit more. Confused. Ah, okay, and the eyebrows must be closer together. That's also where I'm going wrong. They've got to knit together. It's just looking angry. Huh? Hmm? I don't know what's going on. Oh. Watching the time. Okay, clearly I need to research expressions. I do actually have a reference sheet that I make use of. I have done a practice in expressions before, and I feel now is a good time to refer to it. So I just drew a whole bunch of expressions. So we're looking for confused. Confused. Ah, okay, so actually confused. Huh. So it's not quite shocked. It's probably more like this, bemused. So I'm going to try that with that eyebrow. It's the eyebrows. That's the problem. So kind of, yeah, okay, instant. It's getting there. And then so this, I would highly recommend doing this like a practice, and I will be going and looking. And I think it's the mouth it could be something like that. I highly recommend doing a practice in expressions. Yeah, okay. I'm going to try that. And that is why we do these practices. So it's a bit different when it's cats. Kind of. But I probably will have to work on this a little bit. In fact, definitely I will have to work on this. So if we go there, because they've got a very squished face, Persian cats. Maybe something like that. Does that look confused? I don't know. I think I will need to work this through a little bit more. But we're nearly up for time. So as you can see, this is a messy process. But I'm just doing the basic concept in the sketch, showing you that it is not a perfect process for me, because oftentimes I don't know what I'm doing and I'm just experimenting, and that's kind of the big deal here, is to practice experimenting. The beauty of digital drawing is that you can just you can erase your analog work as well. I think I'm gonna need to, what I might do here, I just had another visual, because I was thinking those were kind of like the bells that you tap on on top of a desk, but now I'm thinking that maybe instead I will make it more like a hanging bell. Like a notification bell. Yes, I think that's gonna work a lot better. All right, and see how as you kind of work around your illustration, move on to other areas, and then it does also allow for ideas to come to you, to kind of go back and rework. And I'm very pleased with this idea. I think that's much better. I'll obviously work that out to uniform, but that's a much better idea. It's much more clear what the intention is here. Because the idea we have in our heads sometimes do not translate, and it's not clear to somebody else. I always use my husband as a test of, can you see what's going on here? And with the image I showed at the start of this session, he had no idea what was going on there. So another indication to me. Okay, so I will work out those bells, but essentially it's these fishies racing to go and knock the bells, and it's disturbing the Persian cat, who is very confused about why they are doing it. So that is my concept sketch. It is a work in progress. I shall be working on this during the week. I'm pretty happy with the idea, and there's a lot of work to do on it, but the general idea I'm pretty happy with in terms of the composition. And I am very excited to try to render this without lines as per our instructions or our prompt. So if you would like to get this prompt sheet, copy the link in the description down below. You can go and download it for free. You will need to sign up to Substack to be able to do that, which is also free to do. But yeah, that is pretty much it. I hope that you found some value in joining this session. We do these sessions every week, and it is purely all about practice and consistency if you are wanting to improve your illustration abilities, and showing you what the messy beginnings of an illustration looks like. I'm using Procreate if you are curious at all, and yeah, that is pretty much it. I hope you have a wonderful week. Thank you so much for joining, and I'll see you in next week's session, which is at the same time on Thursday. All right then, keep well. Bye.